Russell, and in this video I'm going to discuss individual letters of illuminated manuscript and the duality of these pieces as they not only represent text or a picture, but both at the same time. Illuminated manuscripts were typically religious handmade books in which the illustrations that surround the writings produced a radiant glow from the use of real gold and silver. These illuminations, quote, took the form of decorated letters, borders, and independent figurative scenes, also called miniatures, end quote. These were made by monks known as scriptors or scribes who would make parchment paper from animal skins, cut them down to the desired size, and prepare the paper into a gathering before they began to write and draw out the illustrations. These kinds of manuscripts have been around since the ancient Egyptians who made the Book of the Dead and other such ceremonial scrolls. The illuminations I will be focusing on come from the Romanesque period, which took place during the 10th and 11th century England, and represent single letters that are typically the start of a series of scriptures that tell of the story illustrated. In this first piece, Initial R, which was the starting letter of the greeting word Reverentissimo, depicts a knight seen standing on top of his crouching squire who carries a spear plunged into the chest of one of the intertwined dragons. This illustration utilizes the primary colors and the secondary color green, as these were the common colors used for illuminations. Movement is created by the dynamic positions of the figures and the curving lines that each one makes. The patterns on the clothes and bodies give it rhythm that also generates swift action. The knight stands as a closely accurate representation of what one would dress like during that time and was made to portray him as calm in the face of danger. According to the Gardner's textbook, this scene was made to represent, quote, an allegory of the spiritual struggle of monks against the devil for the salvation of souls, end quote. It was said that these monks put up with the struggles of writing all day as they believed that their sins were absolved with every letter they made. In this next illustration, Initial H, the picture refers to the story in which Judith, a young widow, uses her beauty to entice the Assyrian general Holofernes and to get close enough to murder him and save her people. The main colors used in this piece are the complementary colors red and green, along with a little bit of blue. The positions of the figures, with the woman standing over the man, holding a sword above him, illustrate the suggestion of forceful movement. Another depiction of this is a much more famous painting from Gentileschi, which is more dark, detailed, and graphic than this. However, the simplified image of the initial focuses on the second cut into his neck, which still demonstrates the intensity of this moment. This final piece is Initial B, in which the illustration portrays two scenes from the many stories of David from the Bible. The top portion shows David sitting at the bedside of the king Saul as he plays the harp for him. In the Bible, it states that Saul was being bothered by an evil spirit, and as a solution to his problem, he called on David to play the harp for him every night as he slept, to keep the restless spirit away. In the bottom portion, David is depicted cutting off the head of Goliath, which is one of the most well-known stories of David. In the top right corner of the scene, a hand sticks out of a cloud, which suggests the hand of God giving his blessing of strength to David. A common motif in each of these that I found to be very intriguing was the use of these thin dragons that make up the outline of the letters. These were used often as decoration or more often as symbols of, quote, the bearer of death and misfortune, or as the incarnation of the devil and evil, end quote. All three of these pieces include images of death, from killing dragons to beheading people. Illuminated manuscripts stood as an ingenious way in which these artists could cleverly combine story and picture while still adhering to the standards set before them. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful day.